The first 1,000 days.
Why your child's brain is built right now. You've probably felt it. That quiet moment when you're playing with your baby or reading to your toddler at bedtime, and a question suddenly appears in your mind. Am I doing enough? Here's something most parents don't know. In the first years of life, your baby's brain forms 1 million new neural connections every single second. Every second. And the habits you repeat every day are literally wiring those connections. Not the big moments, not the expensive toys, not the special classes. The small things that happen again and again. Because right now, in these ordinary daily moments, your child's brain is doing something extraordinary. It is building itself. And the habits you create today are the blueprints it is using. In this video, I'm going to show you why the window you are in right now is one of the most important in your child's life. What is actually happening inside that rapidly developing brain, and why simple daily habits matter far more than most parents realize. And later in this series, I'll also show you one simple daily habit that research shows can significantly accelerate early language development, something many parents already do without realizing how powerful it is. But first, let's look at what is actually happening inside the brain.
Let's start with a number.
1 million. That is how many new neural connections your baby's brain forms every second in the first years of life. Every second. Not during a special learning activity, not only when you're doing something educational, just during everyday life. Dr. Megan Puglia, a neurology researcher at the University of Virginia, describes the first 1,000 days as a period when the brain builds itself at a breathtaking pace. The first 1,000 days. It sounds like a long time, but count it out. Day 1 starts at conception. Day 1,000 is your child's third birthday. Just 3 years. Research from the University of Minnesota's Masonic Institute for the Developing Brain shows that around 80% of a child's brain development happens during this window. 80%. Before school, before reading, before they can even clearly explain what they want for breakfast. And here's what that means for parents. The habits you build right now are not just filling time, they are wiring the brain. To understand why habits matter so much, we need to look at what is happening inside your baby's brain. At birth, your baby already has almost all the neurons they will ever have, about 100 billion of them. But there is something important missing. Those neurons are mostly unconnected. Think of them like light bulbs in an empty room. The bulbs are there, but the wiring has not been installed yet. Experience is the wiring. Every time your baby hears your voice, feels your touch, sees your face, or responds to something in the world around them, a neural connection forms. And connections that are used again and again become stronger. Connections that are rarely used slowly disappear. This process is called synaptic pruning. The brain becomes more efficient by keeping the connections it uses and letting go of the ones it doesn't. Which means something important for parents. Repetition is not boring. Repetition is how the brain builds a highway. And daily habits are the most repeated experiences in a child's life. Things that seem small, talking during diaper changes, making eye contact during feeding, describing what you're doing while cooking dinner, are exactly the experiences the brain uses to wire itself. In 2015, researchers published a study in the Journal of the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry that looked at something scientists had rarely measured before. They asked a simple question. Does the quality of everyday interaction between a parent and a baby actually change the physical structure of the brain? Not test scores, not language milestones, the brain itself. What they found was striking. Babies whose mothers were more sensitive and responsive in everyday interactions showed larger subcortical gray matter volumes. In simple terms, the way you respond to your baby each day can influence how parts of their brain grow. Not genes alone, not fate. Daily interaction. This is not pressure, this is possibility.
Parents often ask questions like,
Should I enroll my child in a brain development class? Do I need special learning toys? Is there a program I should be following? But decades of research show something surprisingly simple. No program replaces consistent daily interaction. Researchers at the Harvard Center on the Developing Child have spent years studying what actually builds healthy brain architecture in early childhood. Their conclusion is clear. The most powerful driver of early brain development is something called serve and return interaction. This means the simple back and forth between a child and a caring adult. Your baby babbles, you respond. Your toddler points. You look and name what they see. A smile, a sound, a word, a response. Back and forth. These small exchanges build the brain's communication networks. Not flashcards, not educational videos, not the so-called Mozart effect. You. Talking, responding, playing, and connecting. And there is more good news. You do not have to do this perfectly. Your baby does not need a perfectly scheduled life. They need a responsive one. At this point, many parents feel a familiar worry. My baby is already 18 months old. Did I miss something? I didn't know this when they were newborns. Here is the reassuring truth. No, you didn't miss your chance. The first 1,000 days are a window of extraordinary opportunity. But they are not a deadline. The brain remains capable of change throughout life. What makes this window special is simply that learning happens faster and more easily during this period. Patterns form quickly, connections grow rapidly. So, if you are in this stage now, it is a powerful opportunity. And starting today still matters. In the next 5 videos, we are going to turn this science into a practical daily framework you can actually use. We will cover the morning habits that prime a young brain for learning before 9 a.m., the everyday patterns that can quietly harm development, the single most researched habit for language and brain growth, the bedtime routine that strengthens memories while your child sleeps, and finally, a complete daily rhythm you can follow from morning to night. Each video stands on its own, but together they show how simple daily routines can support healthy brain development. So, let's start where every day begins, the morning. In the next video, I'll show you 5 simple morning habits that help wire your baby's brain for learning before 9 a.m. And most parents are already doing 2 of them without realizing it. Let's start with the morning.